Radio 630 KHAL. I want to check in right now with education expert June Campbell, because even as public schools across the country race to bring more technology into the classroom, is it a good idea? Some professors are actually backing away from it. Good morning, June.
Good morning.
So what is right for kids when it comes to technology in the classroom?
Well, I love technology. I use it in my business. I use it in my book writing and publishing and all of that. But I believe there's a time and a place for everything. And the classroom is not the place for computers, especially at an early age.
And that, I have a 5-year-old, and I also have a 24-year-old and a 23-year-old. And we learned from the older ones that, you know what, there's going to be plenty of time for computers. And we have worked very diligently to, as we say, keep my daughter off the screen. But there seems to be a bigger push in her classroom. They have iPads, not for every student. This is in kindergarten. And I have concerns that maybe we're missing out on the development of certain areas of her brain or other kids' brains by this leap to push forward to technology. Is there any research to bear that out?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we've proven it about 10,000 times in our little one-room schoolhouse here in Dallas, Texas. We have no technology, and our students are back to the basics. We memorize the math facts. We memorize the phonics rules so that they know how to read. Our children have the tools in their toolboxes, and so they're not dependent on computers. They're learning to use their brain computers. And what it does is it creates logical thinking, and this is one of the problems that with kids who are just growing up being dependent upon computers for their math skills, for calculators, to get the simplest of answers. They don't learn how to learn, and they don't become logical thinkers.
And even at the college level, some professors are simply saying no to technology in the classroom.
Absolutely. They are finding out that students who take notes on their laptops they're very fast at typing, so they can get down everything verbatim that is said in the lecture. But at the end of the lecture, they have no idea what they've typed. Whereas the students who take notes by pen and paper, the old-fashioned way, they can't type, or they can't write as fast as others can type. And so they have to glean from the professor's inflection and so forth of what's important that he's speaking about. And they write those things down. So when they're finished, they already know the important parts of the lecture, and they've also found out that those students remember longer what they've learned.
So what are parents to do? Because I just read an edict from my daughter's school district, and she's in a very, very good school district, very successful schools, and yet the newsletter that was sent out gave a justification of using calculators. This is an elementary school. And I thought to myself, okay, what do I do here? What do I do as a parent who thinks that this is not the way to go, other than trying to find a different school for my daughter? What can we do to help push back against this very expensive push to incorporate technology in every aspect of the classroom?
Well, I doubt that there's much that you can do to fight back, because you're fighting against something that's pretty big. But you as a parent can certainly take the bull by the horns and work with your child every waking minute you have to actually sit down with your child and establish that parent-teacher relationship with your child that is so important, and explain to them that this is the most important thing they'll ever do. This is what is going to make the difference in his education or her education, and that is getting those tools in the toolbox, the basics down, reading by phonics, math the old-fashioned way, studying with flashcards, and memorizing, and consequently building her brain so that she can think and that she has all these things at her command whenever she needs it.
Now, you mentioned Campbell Christian Academy, which is a one-room schoolhouse in North Dallas. How old is Campbell Christian Academy, and is this Is it kind of revolutionary in that it's gone back in time to this style of learning that so many of us sort of, didn't necessarily grow up that way, but were at least familiar with it?
Well, we've had Campbell Christian Academy for 30 years, and I taught high school in the public schools for 10 years before that. So I've been teaching a long, long time. And that's the reason why we started Campbell Christian Academy, was because I saw in the public schools and high school that the kids were coming in unable to read, write, spell, punctuate, know whether they've written a complete sentence or not, and nothing has changed. And so our philosophy is basics, basics, basics. I've written my own book on phonics, the whole program called Pure Phonics, and that's what we use to teach our children by. And we've proven about 10,000 times now that learning reading by phonics and math the old-fashioned way, that's what works. Our students are 2 to 3, some 4 grade levels ahead of the public schools and the private schools in our area.
June, you have to be kind of excited about some of the reforms that are taking place in education, or at least the movement to reform, though. And some of those reforms are actually going back in time to that kind of style of learning.
I am excited about that. Very excited about that. I would love to see that. That's what's needed. And there's just no other way to learn but the right way, the old-fashioned way that all of our founding fathers in America used to teach their kids. And believe me, they were much farther along than any of our students are today.
Amen. Education expert June Campbell, thanks for your time this morning. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.